I think that's it.
Did any of that really just happen?
Show off.
On the other side of this door is Michael Whalen. The reason we're all here. We lost the Sulaco flight recorder. Wayu destroyed everything at the facility. We need him alive, and we need everything he knows. Agreed? O'Neill, I need you on this one, man. We can get these guys.
That's the airlock, you idiot!
Now wait, before you shoot me, wait, just wait!
Do you even know? Do you even know what you take away?
Please, don't do this. I'm just the face that runs the company.
O'Neill, think about what you're doing.
I'm done thinking.
You were done thinking a long time ago.
Just put the gun down.
I can't do that. Someone has to pay for this. For Cruz. For Keys. For all the ones we lost. For her.
Yeah, you know, what's her name?
Don't make me say her name.
If anyone says her name, I swear to God I will blow his head the fuck off!
Please don't
Do not speak to me, you sack of shit!
Can I speak with you then?
Bishop, get the hell out of the way, man!
No.
I'm not playing around, Bishop. If you don't move, I will shoot right through
It's
you.
an android, you
No,
realize.
you won't, because Bella wouldn't want you to.
I said don't say her name!
Bella.
O'Neill, shoot him.
What?
Hicks, what the hell, man?
O'Neill, you're supposed to shoot him. This is how it's supposed to happen.
Stand down, Corporal!
Don't do it, O'Neill.
He's probably kind of conflicted.
Oh, thank you for not killing me.
I don't think he's 100%. Oh, well.
Oh my God.
I just shot your guy.
We needed him!
Look again.
Yeah, you didn't notice the giant white
That
splatter?
wasn't the real Whalen?
Negative, Corporal.
What? How did you know that wasn't the real
I
Whalen?
didn't.
You said we need to find out what he knows? 13 weeks and 4 days they had me. Spent hours a day in a room. Torture after torture. Some days I could barely take it. But when there's only 2 of you in the room, you notice when the other guy ain't breathing.
Why not keep him alive?
Because he would kill every one of you the first chance he got. That's its function. Bishop?
I can download any data he has. This is a special model. We might get lucky.
What do you need, Bishop?
Clear a space and find a scalpel.
Surgery!
Is this dangerous?
There are tubes in my brain.
Dumb question, incredibly sorry. You ready, Bishop?
It's already downloading. Please give me a moment, Winter.
Can't you use, like, Bluetooth?
Is this gonna work?
It'll work.
How do you know?
You lost a girl too, right?
Yeah.
Me too. It has to work.
That's unshakable logic. Thank you for that, Hicks.
Bishop, are you okay?
Please tell me we got something. Anything. We really need a win here, man.
We got everything.
Okay. Not bad for a human. State of the badass art. Game over, man. Wow, 3 achievements. Nice. Okay. Whoo, here we go. Here's where I normally do my mini review. Over the credits, what I think about the game. Evaluate its pros and cons. Think, really verbalize how I feel. This game sucks. It's bad. Man, where to start? Okay, gameplay. Gameplay is always a great place to start. The gameplay is just very generic. Some of the guns felt incredibly weak. The pulse rifle and the assault rifle just felt really weak. It felt like I had to shoot tons of bullets to kill anyone. When I shoot 2 or 3 bullets to the face of one guy, and all he does is turn around and look at me like, "Oh, I'm sorry, did you need something, sir?" Pardon me. Then something is not quite right. But on the other hand, you have guns like the shotgun, or at least the pump shotgun, which is what I use most of the time, is crazy powerful, even damn good at longer ranges, medium ranges even. Not so good for long ranges, which obviously it shouldn't be. And then, of course, you have the battle rifle. I believe it was called the sniper rifle, basically, which is a badass weapon. The Uzi was completely crap. Even with the improved fire rate, the damage was crap. Quality assurance team, they're like, no, please don't put my name on that. I really want to work in this industry again. But anyway, the guns just felt incredibly off. Like, some were really weak, and then others were very powerful. The aliens, oh god, the AI of the aliens was horrible. They were, for the most part, the aliens were incredibly easy because of how bad the AI was. The only thing that made them harder was this harder difficulty where they have higher hit points and they kill you very quickly. The design was you'd go into a room, they would almost always come from the front and the sides. Never were aliens coming out of vents behind you. I pretty much most of the time knew I was safe just looking forward because the aliens would always pop out of holes in front of me. This is bad. Aliens should be coming from all directions. You should be constantly looking around back and forth. Very, very bad. And again, the AI is just... I can't go on about how bad it is. I mean, I can't go on enough about how bad it is because it trivialized the aliens, which is totally wrong in an aliens game. They just look stupid having them run towards you and then run away and then jump on a wall and then jump off and then run at you again. It's just painful. It immediately takes you out of the game. They're just awful. They're just terrible AI. They also go straight for you most of the time, running right past your allies, and I'll get to them in a minute. Running right through them, straight to you. It's just terrible, 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 terrible. The guys, the Weyland-Yutani guys with the guns, way too much of that shit. Way too much. Yes, I can see a little bit of fighting, and the mixed fighting I really like, where you're fighting the aliens and the Weyland-Yutani guys. I like that. I like the conflict. I like thinking, okay, well, let the aliens kill some of these. Let me kill some of the aliens first, whatever. And just, it's like a big chaos battle. I really like that. But there was just far too many Weyland-Yutani guys in a fucking alien game. I want to fight aliens. Yes, give me varied aliens. Yes, throw in a few armed mercenaries here and there. Don't have multiple levels where I'm fighting exclusively or almost exclusively guys with guns. If I wanted to play fucking Call of Duty, I would shoot myself. And if I lived through that, then I would pick up and play Call of Duty. It's idiotic. I don't know who designed that, but it's terrible, terrible design. Their AI was really bad. You can see that when they're running. They would run towards your guys and then away. It's awful. It's just, the AI on them was terrible too. Speaking of terrible AI, let's talk about those worthless, near worthless allies. They ignore enemies a lot of times. Their damage is total balls. You can see them shooting the enemy, but apparently the damage they do is weak as hell. I understand this is a balancing thing. I understand that you don't want your allies to be able to just run in, clear the room while you hide. I understand that. But you need to either figure out a way to balance this by making them fall unconscious or whatever if that happens, or make them stay back with you. Whatever you need to do, don't make them empty 2 full clips into an alien and the alien is still just running around like, doo-doo-doo, no big problem, I'm fine, how are you? Shouldn't happen. They shouldn't be freaking staring right at enemies, watching them run by them just to shoot you while they do nothing. The pathing's bad. Oh, it's just, they are rage-inducing, especially on the higher difficulties where you really need their assistance, and they're either standing around doing nothing or ignoring enemies. Incredibly, incredibly frustrating. The Level design was pretty bland overall. I really liked going into the ship. I think they call it the Origin, whatever, where the space jockey is. I really liked that. It was marred a lot because of the misting effect that they do for whatever reason. Again, I'm guessing it's some kind of limitation of the engine where they had to put that fog that you can't see past because they couldn't stand to render really far away walls and layers upon layers of alien eggs. But it just looked really, really bad, and it drew me out of the experience. Overall, though, like again, the missions were pretty bland. There wasn't any stages, especially other than the alien ship, where I thought, "Oh, this is cool." It's all running through drab, rocky wastelands. I'd spice it up a little bit. It was just very bland, very linear, which I understand that's the thing now. Incredibly linear stages, but definitely not very good level design. Oh, what else? On gameplay. We'll talk about the sound next. The sound overall was fine. The pulse rifle, the motion detector, the sounds of the aliens, all of that was great. I really liked that. I liked hearing the sounds from the movies. Love that. That was great. The voice acting was okay. I think what mars the voice acting most was the lines they were forced to speak. The dialogue was cringe-inducing. I realized there was a pretty decent amount of cheesy dialogue in the movies, but they took it to a whole new level here. Let's stick to that. The sounds, overall, the music was okay. I liked hearing some of the same music from the movie again. That was nicely done. But other than that, nothing really great, nothing memorable other than music that was from the movie, which I'm glad they used, by the way. I think that's a good thing. The sound effects for the guns and all that, again, all that was fine. Didn't have a problem with that. So that's really all on the sound. The story was pretty damn bad. Bringing in Hicks, there was some serious hand-waving bullshit going on. Oh, well, don't worry about whose body was in that cryo tube. Like, no, really, whose was in there? Because this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Either don't put Hicks in, or find another way to get him in there. And by the way, there probably wasn't a good way. Just leave him out. I mean, it was cool hearing the voice of Hicks talking again, but I would much rather have not had him. Maybe put some kind of recordings that you pick up so that you can hear him and maybe other members of the original crew. I don't know if you could really get them to do it, but I mean, you got Hicks and you got Bishop right there. So maybe you could have got this. I don't know. But yeah, the story was bad. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. The only one that I even remotely cared about was Reed. But to be honest, that's probably because she's Ashley Birch, and I love Hey Ash, what you playing? So if it wasn't for that connection, which is a meta connection, I probably wouldn't have cared about her either. Honestly, the character was kind of a butthole. You go and save her, and then immediately she's like, oh, well, let's not save this other guy who wanted to save me. It was not really a likable character. So none of them were likable. I was supposed to care about Bella getting the alien in her. I didn't give a shit at all. They tried to have the emotional moment with Bella and O'Neill where she died. Didn't care. That constant oorah shit with completely inappropriate spaces. It's like, oorah, let's go get them, and oorah, I have a sandwich, or oorah, I stubbed my toe. You don't need to use that shit all the time. If they really do that in the military, don't do it now, because it just sounds stupid and it feels forced. There was that really forced speech by the general, what's his name? I forget. I'm not good with names. I'm not forgetting their names just because they're forgettable. I just have a terrible memory. Cruz, the general, or whatever the hell he was, Cruz. He tried to give that Full Metal Jacket-esque speech about, oh, I love the Corps. I think baby Jesus said I'm in the Corps, blah, blah, blah. That felt completely out of place. it was as if they felt, okay, we need to have some kind of totally Marine badass, let's go get them speech here. And it didn't work. It was, again, cringe. I was cringing while he was saying it. It was just not good at all. Oh God. Some of the game mechanics, going back to gameplay, the finding the legendary weapons from the movie, finding the dog tags, that was cool. I really liked that. The audio logs, I love audio logs. I like to find out what happened before. I love that kind of thing. So thumbs up there. I really like the legendary weapon idea. You can see it's got markings from the people in the movie. So that's really cool. I enjoyed that. I also like the upgrade system where you get levels and the levels are persistent. I really, really like that the levels are persistent. That's a good idea. I don't think they're the first to do that, but it still doesn't matter. It's a good idea. I enjoyed it. I like the options you had with your weapons as far as upgrading them and swapping out different, stocks and barrels. I think that was really cool. I very much enjoyed that, especially once I actually understand how it really worked. So definitely no complaints there. It felt like I could use whatever weapons I wanted and prioritize certain ones to make them better. I do think they should have given you the battle rifle earlier, because fighting those Weyland-Yutani guys without that was, on harder difficulty, is a nightmare. On co-op, it's not that bad. Co-op, by the way, trivializes this game. I haven't played co-op on Ultimate Badass, but I played it on Soldier. And I realize Soldier isn't that high of a difficulty, but I feel like I can say, now that I've played through solo and I played co-op on a different difficulty, I feel pretty confident in saying that two people on any difficulty will trivialize it, unless you're both very new to FPSs, or maybe one of you is. I don't know. But being able to revive your partner is great. The checkpoint system was terrible. Way too often I was having to redo tedious things just to progress. There's one thing I hate, and one thing I have always hated in games is redoing the same thing repeatedly. It drives me nuts. So when you have a checkpoint system, you're not allowed to save where you want, which is problem number one. But you also have a checkpoint system where the checkpoints are too far between and you end up having to clear the same rooms over and over again. That is incredibly frustrating, and do not do that. Just let me save where I want, and if you don't let me save where I want, you better damn well have a good checkpoint system like Dishonored. Dishonored had a pretty good check. Well, I can't think of a good example because I always manually saved in Dishonored. But yeah, checkpoint system was trash. Oh man, what else? The co-op was fun. I'll say the co-op took a lot of the crappiness out of the game, because you killed enemies so quickly you didn't notice how terrible the AI was, and since you have a real life partner, you're not so reliant on your partners, on your AI partners. Also, and I don't want to go off on a co-op tangent, but one other nice thing about the co-op is that if you pick armor up, or if you pick a weapon up or ammo, you both get that armor and you both get that health, whatever. Another great change. That's a good idea. I like that. You're not fighting over pickups and whatnot. In some games, I think it's appropriate to limit your available upgrades and ammo and health and all that when you're doing co-op. This is not one of them, and I think they did a good job there. I think that was a smart idea to let you automatically share the armor and health, all that. Oh, what else? I know I probably complained about other things, but I was trying to wrap it up. Again, I think I might do a full review on this. I don't see the point, but I might do it anyway just for funsies. It's already been reviewed and beaten to death. Listen, I know there's people out there that are saying, oh, the game's just, everybody's just jumping on the hate bandwagon. This is not the case here. After coming off the DMC thing, where I love DMC, but all the fanboys were bashing it, this is not the same thing. This game is bad. It's not terrible. It's just... Alright, sorry, my cat just freaked me out because she jumped in a box. It was full of paper, and I was like, it sounded like thunder through this headphones. Sorry about that. Anyway, it's a bad game. It's a bad game all around. The graphics were not good at all. If you look at the demo videos and you look at what they actually turned out, the demo looks better. It's just bad all around. Well, the credits are ending now, so I'll go ahead and wrap up. Oh, right. Yay. 31. We'll wait for this. Okay, so anyway, let me give my final score. I do like the 1 to 10 scale. I don't care what anybody says. I think 1 to 10 scale is good if used adequately. Now, my 10 scale, the 5 is a medium game. I know. 5, medium game? Wow, that's insane. So if I rated a game a 5, for example, I would say it has roughly equal parts good and equal parts bad. This game gets my initial rating of this would be a 4 because I had to force myself to finish it. And honestly, if I wasn't LPing it, I don't know if I would have bothered. I haven't played a game this bad since probably Duke Nukem Forever, and I think I ended up liking Duke Nukem Forever more. I almost want to give this game a 3, to be honest, but it wasn't quite that bad. 3, I don't think I've played a 3 in a while, but this game is bad. I would definitely not suggest picking it up at all. If you are a hardcore Aliens person, I still wouldn't suggest picking it up. Absolutely not at full price. Do not pick this game up at full price. I am pleading with you. Do not, under no circumstances, is this game worth full price. Now, I also like to do, speaking of, I like to do a price scale of what I think the game is worth, depending on what you look for in a game. If you were a huge Aliens fan, and you're going to play this game solo, huge Aliens fan, just you've played every game, you've probably picked this up already, it's probably too late, but otherwise, if you were on the fence, I would say maybe $15. $15 tops. If you are a huge Aliens fan, you plan on getting all the dog tags, all the legendary weapons, and all that crap, maybe 15. If you want to do the multiplayer, I would be easier suggesting 15 if you wanted to do either co-op or, play single player and then go play the multiplayer. 15, I would say, is a relatively safe bet. I haven't played the multiplayer yet, but it seems okay, if not buggy. Surprise, surprise. If you are just, you're like me, you really like the Aliens franchise, but you aren't super hardcore into it, you're only going to play this single player. You're not going to do co-op, and you're not going to plan on multiplayer, maybe a little bit, but it's not going to be something you put a lot of hours into. I'll be frank, $5. I would not suggest this game for more than $5. That goes for pretty much anybody else. If you don't really care about the Aliens franchise at all, and you just like shooters, I would not buy this, unless it was sub $5. Seriously, I mean, 5 is pretty much the lowest legit price you can go when you really start to nitpick. Well, I wouldn't pay 5 for it, but I'd pay $3. It's at that point, it's you're splitting hairs. Again, if you don't like the Aliens franchise, I wouldn't buy it at all, even at $5. If you're not in the Aliens franchise but want to play the solo and you want to do the multiplayer, all right, buy it for $5. But seriously, $15 is the absolute highest I would suggest anyone buying this game for, and that is for people who are hardcore Aliens fans, and also mostly for people who want to do both the single player and the multiplayer, or at least play it co-op. I would suggest playing co-op. The only bad thing about that is I'm suggesting 2 people buy this game instead of 1, which seems like I'm punishing twice as many people. And I know I'm going on, and I don't know, if you watched this and somehow came away with the impression that, it's not that bad, then I honestly don't know. If maybe this is a good game for you, but it's bad. You have to have... I feel like I can subjectively say that this game is bad. Like, normally, this game is okay, it's not really my type of thing. or you know, maybe it appeals to a small niche of people, but it's bad. The AI is terrible. The graphics are bad. I mean, the AI being, there's way too many fights with human enemies in an Aliens game. I don't know. I can just feel like I can objectively say this is a bad game. And I just don't want people to waste their money on it like I did. Because they're like, oh, finally, a AAA Aliens game. Oh, just please don't do it. It's not a good game. Again, it's a 4. And I was thinking about maybe even a 3.5. It's just a bad game. I didn't enjoy it. I mean, there was parts I enjoyed, like the part where you're sneaking through the aliens. See, that was cool. The sneaking, you didn't have a gun, you're trying to sneak through. It was way too easy, because there's no real stealth mechanics, and all you have to do if the enemy comes at you is just stop moving. So there's no strategy at all. But it was interesting. It was a change of pace. I thought it fit well for the most part. But overall, it was just not an enjoyable game. Like I said, I was forcing myself to log in the last few days just to finish this so I could finish this LP up. I know I'm ranting and raving. I know almost nobody is still watching by this point because they're tired of hearing me complain about it. But it's just bad. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm jumping on the hate bandwagon, and it's not all bad. Co-op is definitely significantly better than a single player. The multiplayer I've heard is good. Or decent, at least. But, man, don't fall into that trap of thinking people are just on the hate bandwagon, because this game it's just not good. Anyway, I think I have went on for quite long enough. I thank you guys who have stuck with this to the end. I appreciate you watching. Please leave comments. Let me know what you thought of this series. Probably not good. Hopefully I made it at least partially entertaining for you. Like my videos if you like them. That does help me out a lot. And I will see you next time.